Alright everybody, we are back. Yes, a very, very sleepy gamers calf and a very tired ferrets.
Yes.
Some of us might have been sitting up to 8 o'clock this morning, my time, playing Xenothreat. We'll cover it, we'll get into it.
Ironically, I haven't actually played Xenothreat yet, and I don't think I will because I want to save my first time with the Idris for when I can actually get it.
Sacrilege. Burn him at the stake. Burn him! Burn the witch!
I want to stay pure. I want to stay pure, gamers.
To be honest, look, it's actually, we'll get into it in a bit. We do have it coming up as a topic. Look, the Xenothreat is actually really, really good. It's fun, and before you know it, it's 8 o'clock in the fucking morning. So, yeah. Alright, let's jump into it, guys, because Call of Duty Black Ops 6 requires you to always be online, no matter what. Because that's how they steal your data.
That sounds familiar, actually. I think we've talked about this a few years ago.
Yeah, they keep pushing for this, but yeah. When Call of Duty Black Ops 6 launches in October, players will be required to be online at all times no matter what they want to play. This means that even playing the campaign requires an internet connection. To deliver the highest quality visuals, we also require, while also reducing the game's overall storage space on your hard drive, Call of Duty 6 will use texture streaming across all game modes, Activision says. This means you'll need to continuous internet connection. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Doesn't the game already require you to have like 300 gigs?
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't know if textures are that much. Like, this is not Star Citizen Activision. Like, calm the farm a little bit here. Like, at the end of the day,
I mean, that actually makes you think a tiny bit big because it's like your game keeps getting bigger, and yet you can't explain all of why it's getting bigger. Like, you don't know what's actually hiding in those files, and they're not gonna tell you.
Alright, so we're getting into the conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theory ferrets. But look at the end. But look at the end of the day. Look, I reckon a certain part. Yeah, it's probably they're trying to cut down on space. Yeah, sure. But, like, come on. We've got hard drives now that are 5, 10, 8, 20, 30 terabytes. Is anybody actually still sitting here and saying, oh my god, my hard drive is full?
Should I just leave now then?
Stop downloading porn. But what I was going to say was...
It's not porn, it's called top quality art, alright? Get your stuff together, man.
I was going to say, no comment on this, I can't talk. But what I was going to say, but at the end of the day, the fact is that, like, how many people do you... Like, how much do you think textures is going to really take up Activision? Like, what? 5, 10 gig? 100 maybe gig at the most?
According to them, it's over 100 or 2 gigs.
Well, they haven't actually specifically set a size, but look, to be honest, I think this is more about the fact that, we could probably go through and make it so that we do this texture streaming. But it also does make you wonder, right? If it's streaming textures in, what if you have slow internet speed?
Oh boy. Now we're getting into the meat and potatoes.
Or what if so it's got to, like, download the textures and then load them instead of just loading the text. Like, it doesn't seem to be that much of a benefit by doing this. Like, what are you going to get? What, are you going to save yourself 5, 10 gig? Okay, fine. But, like, you're going to deliberately, cause people to slow down on the game or slow down on loading times because they've got to download their texture pack? I don't know. I think this is more about just the fact they want people to be online. But they're trying to get used to people being online so that they could go through and they could sell subscription services. You can't have a monthly subscription to your favourite game if you're not always online, right? So get people used to being online and then go through and hit them with a subscription. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
That sounds pretty predatory right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Apart from that, what are your thoughts, Ferrets?
Mm,
Do you think this is a big thing, a small thing? Do you think the community is going to be like, yeah, or do you think they're going to care? Or
I think a lot of the people will definitely care.
Hmm. All right, let's jump into the next one. So, according to Games Director, the $500 League of Legends help me out here, folks. Ari, that one skin wasn't meant for the average fan, but instead players who are willing to spend $200 a month on their hobbies. So the backlash I'm hearing about this is getting quite kind of a lot of momentum. A lot of people are upset about this, about the new League of Legends skin. But you know, we also do have figures on how many skins they sold. So yeah, it might be a case of people going through and yeah. So to give you an idea, guys, here they sold $2,500 skins were sold in South Korea in just 4 hours.
Tasty.
So, you know, what did they... I can't
maybe Chris Roberts can learn something from this.
Oh, God, don't encourage it. So, they made over $1 million in 4 hours in South Korea. So, like, how much is this backlash actually, you know, real? Or is it how much of it's fabricated? Or how much of it is just the minorities or a minority of the population of League of Legends complaining, while the other majority are happy paying the 500. I don't know. Like they sold 2,000 fucking skins in 4 hours. You know, like, are people really that upset? I don't know. What are your thoughts, Ferrets?
Well, honestly, I think it might be a large group of very compassionate fans who might be a bit upset that the price is too high, and I completely understand that as well.
Yeah, you think it's just the minority that's buying these? Could be. Like I said, they made $1 million out of it. You know, like, are they? Like I say, are they really? Are people really that upset, or is it just, you know, the vocal group that are upset and making it look like it's a legit thing?
Well, I mean, it's mainly South Korea, right? I mean, a huge portion of their culture is in the video games. So I mean, I'm not really that surprised that they have that many quote unquote whales.
Yeah, but then also keep in mind too that these articles are coming out from like Games Radar and Polygon, right? And well, we know from, like, here's one here. We know more than anybody how biased these papers and these articles can be.
They're probably just bored.
It's clickbait. It's probably clickbait.
Uh-huh. I mean, they're probably just bored, and they're just trying to meet a quota.
So here's the backlash here. Is the League of Legends players protest the 500 skin with a forced boycott. So League of Legends players are making good on their attempt to forcibly boycott a $500 cosmetic by banning the champion it's available for. So the signature aria is particularly
Sorry.
that was sure particularly fancy skin design. Blah blah blah. Trouble is that the fanciest thing is $500. That's fine. Well, it's not fine, but you know what I mean. Even as the skin was announced, so it looks like they're just trying to ban it from being put into the games, or stop players from using it, or something. They were who purchased it from being able to use it by deliberately banning Aria from every game. Now the skin has released, and key developer is controversy making it clear that there are no plans to back down from this kind of drop. So, yeah. Anyway. Alright, anything else we want to add on to this before we jump on to the next topic?
No, I don't think so.
Alright. Starfield.
Uh-oh.
Todd Howard responds to the controversy over Starfield's $7 mission. We hear the feedback. And next week, Starfield would announce that they're upping the $7 to $10 because they don't care what players think. The backlash against the high cost of a single Starfield mission apparently has Bethesda reconsidering its options, so they claim. In the wake of the controversial release of a single mission, Starfield mission, costing $7, part of the new game creation program, Bethesda exclusive producer Todd Howard says the studio hears the feedback from unhappy players and will take a look at how we deliver content like that in future releases. So, in other words, in future releases, and we're still going to charge you $7 for this mission. So
Reasonable.
So in other words, buy this $7 mission and we promise we will look at it in future releases. And what they mean by look at it is that they'll put the price up from $7 to $10 because they don't care about players. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's look, you know, look, we play Star Citizen, you know, both of us here. We're no stranger to paying for like ships or skins or whatever. But you know, part of it I know this is actually from the creations kit, right? So does that mean it was a fan made or?
Creation kit, I think would be fan made, yes.
Guys in chat, or comments, comment on that.
Good sneeze.
So the Trackers Alliance faction with the promise of the future Trackers Alliance missions coming only blah blah blah. It doesn't say who actually made the mission. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, I don't really think Todd Howard cares what, you know, people have to say when it comes to paying $7 for a mission. You know, this is Bethesda we're talking about here. Do we really think they give a shit? No. Yeah. But anything else we want to add, Mr. Sneezy, before we move on?
No.
Have you been playing Starfield or?
Actually, that's a good question. Hold on.
Have you got Starfield installed still, or have you been like me and uninstalled it probably 6 months ago?
Last played September 30, 2023.
Yeah. And I think
It's
you were playing it longer than I was.
I played it for 76 hours, so that's saying something.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I put in over 100 hours of the game. Don't get me wrong. It
Oh,
was, yeah.
so you played it longer than I have.
Yeah, and I stopped playing it before you. But there for a while there, I took a week off work to play it. So I was streaming it for, 12 hours a day, 10 hours a day for like a week
So
straight.
so speaking about Starfield, they do have not a single mod, but like there's a bunch of mods out there that you can download that basically completely overhauls the game almost
Yeah. So these are like the
into
UI mods and
Star
stuff.
Wars.
Ah, right, Star Wars. I gotcha. Yeah.
I mean, like they have like the armor, the weapons, and things like that, and certain locations.
Do they have lesbian witches in space?
Uh, I don't think that they got that far yet. I think they're still doing some research on that part.
Right. Yeah. 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 There'd have
Uh,
to be a lot of like research done on, like how they move and how they, fight with the saber.
mm, yeah, I mean it's really hard to take notes when you're also wielding a very powerful lightsaber.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, a lot of this is one-handed approach. Like we, yeah.
I mean, there's some Jedi Masters out there that can fight with one hand.
Do we even want to start talking about the acolyte anymore, or was like this like a dead horse that is just like literally laying on the fucking ground? It's been beaten to death. Yes, the acolyte sucks. Yes, I have watched it. No, I didn't pay for it. Fuck you, Disney. But
In
like,
this case, the horse is a dead upon arrival,
like
and
it
yeah.
is so fucking bad. Like, even if you get past like the whole lesbian witches in space and redefining what is the force and all this sort of shit, it's bad fucking writing. Like, dude, I said to you this, what, 2 years ago? I was like, we got to get the machinima done because Star Wars sucks. Right? And I'm like, the machinima will like, sort of like, be like the new Star Wars. It's probably going to be better than Star Wars. Blah, 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 blah. And now, with what they're doing with Star Wars right now, dude, holy fuck. It's so bad. But, yeah. Anyway, anything else we want to talk about before we jump onto Star Citizen?
No, we can continue on. I've had my fare.
So, CIG have gone through and have banned or suspended 600 counts who were duping AUEC for the 3.2 patch. Now, this is only the ones that were the most egregious. These were the guys that were duping trillions of dollars worth of money, and then probably selling it on eBay or whatever. There were still people who did dupe a lot of money who weren't banned. There was a guy in a Discord that I was in, not saying where, because I don't want to get him in trouble, but he was saying that he ended up duping, I think he said something like 300 million or something, and nothing happened to him. So there were obviously still people that were very egregious when it comes to the duping. But at the end of the day, I support this. I think at the end of the day, I think they probably didn't go further enough. they supposedly removed it from the economy. But, I was watching a streamer the other day who just got someone who sent him $3 million just for, starter money. And all I could think of is that money is from dupes. If we've just had a reset, we've just had a wipe, and you're giving out $3 million to streamers, chances are you're duping. Don't get me wrong, you can make the money, sure. But, let's face it, it's most likely dupe money. What are your thoughts on them banning or suspending the 600 players?
Well, it's a good idea, but it was executed a little bit too late.
Yeah.
These dupers have been going absolutely rampant for a month before CIG did anything, and by that time they already made their money, they've already lined their pockets, so if they got if their account got the ban, they could care less.
Yeah, they did say they took the money out of the economy. So it does make you wonder, right? If these dupers were selling money to eBay, on eBay, for example, what happens?
They absolutely were.
Yeah, and what happens to the people they sold the money to? These are people that went through and actually spent real world money, brought, say, 10 million UEC, and then Star Citizen comes along and takes the 10 million UEC. Can you then claim that the money that the dupers got were no good and you can get a refund on the money you spent on eBay? Or is it a case of, too sad, you brought duped money, what did you expect? Or it does make it sort of raise all these sort of questions. And I agree with what you say. Waiting a month to do something about this was probably too long. They probably needed to do something about this within the first few days. Or a week at least. People have been claiming that this dupe was known through the PTU and that they pushed out the patch because of Invictus Week. It's possible, I suppose. Yeah, probably.
That sounds like a very CIG thing to do, actually. So.
But then that said, like you said, they waited a month before doing something with the duping.
Yeah, conveniently, they waited till after Fleet Week to do anything about it, though.
Well, actually, even after that, because Fleet Week had still finished and the patch was still in the 0.1a patch.
Yeah, and I think at that point, they were like, well, we're just going to throw it into the top fix, and then that top fix ended up taking 3 more weeks, and I think at that point they are like, well, it's already done, messed up now, so just might as well go with the flow.
Well, that's the question, right? Was at the end of the day and that's my argument is that they should have gone through and put out a hotfix to remove the dupers in the first few days.
Honestly, they should just reset everybody in 3.23.2. Just
no, because some of us who
just restart again.
Well, no, see, that's they don't want to do because they've just had a wipe. People like me were grinding out money to and actually doing it legit, and that's the reason I actually held off playing a lot was because are they going to wipe? And I'm kind of glad they didn't do that because, dude, I was literally mining and salvaging to make money. I was doing it legit. So you're punishing the legit players for dupers. I think they did it right by removing the money from the economy and banning the dupers. I just don't think they went further enough. I would have liked to have seen more than 600 players. There was more than 600. This is obviously the most egregious players, right? These are the ones, like they say, that dupes for trillions of dollars. What about the ones that duped for hundreds of millions of dollars or tens of millions of dollars? You know.
I feel like if you duped any amount, you should be given the same treatment.
Well, I would say duped up until it was reported to the issue council and verified. Obviously, we don't want to stop people from going through and trying to do this sort of stuff, because then they can go through and they can fix it. And they do need people to replicate it in the issue council so that they know how to fix it, right? So I would say anybody up to, for example, a week after it was known on the issue council or something, maybe. But anyway, anything else we want to talk about with duping before we jump onto?
Nope. No, I think we're good.
So at the end of the day, guys, obviously 3.23a did go to live, obviously on it was June 14th. So was that on Friday? Thursday, yep, Thursday or my Friday. Obviously, the known issues is pretty stock standard. Feature gameplays, bug fixes is quite a few. Technical, obviously, they fixed 6 client crashes, 5 server crashes. They fixed a main thread deadlock and a OOM out of memory client crash. It's let's face it, it's basically the Xeno threat patch. And you know, for the most part, it's actually doing quite well. I was playing Xeno Threat for about 14 hours today, on and off, this morning. But what I was going to say was at the end of the day that the servers do start to really burst into flames when the Idris comes out. And all the ships spawn and everything like that. It definitely does. Obviously, the servers do take a hit. And there is obviously a hotfix we'll talk about in a sec. But at the end of the day, guys, obviously, yeah, it's probably the smoothest I've seen a Xenothreat patch. But, you know, obviously there's still a way to go. But it is definitely better than a normal Xenothreat mission would be, which, you know, sometimes it's just damn unplayable. But obviously that said, guys, earlier today we did get a message of the day where they basically have said that they have put up a hotfix channel. This does go through and fixes a handful of server client crashes, deadlocks, and landing services not functioning issues. So they are hoping that it'll push into the live servers when it's ready. But it's supposed to fix a lot of the issues with Xenothreat. Obviously, one of the biggest issues is that we have is that landing services don't work sometimes when it comes to refuel, rearm, or restock your ship, or repair, which can be problematic when you're in a space battle with an Idris that can literally one-shot most people. So there was a lot of dying and blah blah blah. But yeah, any thoughts, Ferrets?
Praise be to the Idris.
The Idris looks beautiful, man.
I bet she's hard to kill too.
Oh, you have no idea. I
imagine trying to kill a freaking javelin now.
I think someone was saying in Discord earlier today when we were playing it that it takes 76 torpedoes. Where it used
76 now?
Yep, used to take 6. They reckon now it's around 76. Like, dude, we were wailing on this thing for hours, and we had.
A few weeks ago, some players were testing that, and then it took them 30 size 9s in order to actually kill it.
Yeah.
So if it's gone up to 70 something, then that might be a little bit absurd, but I'm not complaining.
Well, like I said, that last Idris battle, dude, I'd have to check the time logs, but I swear we were going at it for about 2 hours, and we had 15 people in the Star Citizen Discord, all going at it. So like we had a very sizable force, and it was still, yeah, she was struggling, like, but she was still able to kick our asses. I died, God knows how many times.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like uncareful ships should be able to take a pounding and then keep on going.
Oh,
So.
dude, yeah, they should be able to take a pounding like a hook around $5 prom night. That's what they're designed for. But I will say that the big thing that we did notice while playing Xenothreat was the fact that it did actually cause the servers to, like, for your game to, like, lock up when you jump to the location. So when you're jumping to the Staten jump point, Staten Pyro jump point, or to where the Idris battle is, there's like 10, 20 seconds where like your game is just loading stuff and you can't move. You're just basically waiting for everything to load in. But no, yeah, no, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I would like to go through and actually try and take over the Idris. And it was getting to the point this morning where we were like, can we just kill this thing so we can get the armor? But yeah. Alright, so Xenothreat obviously has gone live. We've sort of covered that already a little bit. Asmongold has reacted to the Star Citizen $44,000 Star Citizen package. Look, at the end of the day, I like Asmongold. I like his content. It was good that he actually got people to come on and actually push back against what he was saying. I haven't watched the whole thing. It does go for about an hour. I plan on watching it later tonight. But at the end of the day, yeah, he did get some of the Star Citizen backers on who were sort of sitting there and explained to him why it's there and everything like that. But the big thing is, guys, is that this $44,000 package, it's a dead horse that gets constantly beaten. Every time someone wants to bring up some sort of clickbait title, it's always the one thing that gets brought up. Here's the thing, it's not designed for the average player. It's designed for orgs. It's designed for the collectors. It's designed for people that want to go through and have one package in their hangar and not have 176 different ships. And at the end of the day, you also got to remember too, this is something that the community asked for. This is not something that CIG made on their own. This was actually asked for by a few of the backers who did want to go through and get every ship in the game. So it really is a dead horse that just basically gets beaten every now and then. It's the one thing they sort of always criticize Star Citizen for. And I presume once the game goes live and the people lose that argument of, oh my god, they haven't even got a game yet, people will just like focus on the ships and how much the packages are and stuff for certain things. But apart from that, you want to add to this anything, Ferrets, or?
I haven't actually seen the video, so I can't really say much.
Look, at the end of the day, look, it is what it is. Yeah, look, I from the outside, you know, you're sitting there and a game is charging, you know, $44,000 for ships. You know, I did the math. I think it's about $200 on average for ships, per ship. It basically averages out to. And considering some of the ships in there are worth hundreds of dollars and some of them are worth thousands of dollars and some of them are worth tens of dollars, I understand, it's understandable, but you got to remember, it's every ship in the game, right? So yeah. Alien Week is out. It is live and nobody cares.
Yeah, because there's nothing there.
Like, seriously, like, the only thing I've seen about Alien Week is literally people saying what ships you should buy. That's it. Now, there is a really, really cool code where you can go through and decipher a code from the transmissions or something, and it basically gives you a challenge coin. They were talking about it earlier this morning, but like I said, it was 8 o'clock in the morning by this stage, and I'm like, fuck this, I'm going to bed. But, at the end of the day, yeah. The problem with doing these sort of challenge coins things is that if it's just a code, like it is, that code gets passed around the community pretty fast. People haven't actually had to sit down and work it out because everybody's just sharing the code and it just gets posted. What are your thoughts on this whole challenge coin thing? Yeah, it's a flare item, I presume.
Yeah, I think it's just another code like they're saying.
Yeah. And a new image has been floating around the internet saying that Star Citizen is due to come out in 2025. Now, obviously, guys, do take this with a grain of salt. It is Star Citizen, date 2025, type is video game, role is Jimmy. Not sure what that meant. But at the end of the day, it's RSI. People are saying this is Star Citizen 1.0, Squadron 42. It's probably... Look, we don't know where this information is coming from. We've just seen it floating around the internet. Could be faked, I suppose. But at the end of the day, it pretty much lines up to everything that you and I have been saying for the past year or so. I think at CitizenCon last year, we called it, saying that this CitCon they will go through and have a release date for Squadron 42. I think we were making that prediction back then, I think it was. So at the end of the day, this kind of makes sense to me. To be honest, man, I would expect Star Citizen to go live, or Squadron 42 to be released. I would say, look, at the earliest, it's probably going to be early next year, and at the latest will probably be, most likely be towards the end of the year. It just depends on when it's finished. But obviously, that at the end of the day, they don't want to really go competing against Grand Theft Auto 6. So, when's that due to come out? Do you know?
2025, later in the year, like around third or fourth quarter, I believe. They just haven't really made any official announcement yet.
Right. So, CIG probably wouldn't want Squadron 42 to come out then, because that would probably be a competitor for it. Yeah. But anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Do you reckon this will be legit, or do you think it's...
Well, there's quite a few leaks out there that are pointing towards a 2025 release, but obviously take those with a few grains of salt, because sometimes leaks do tend to be a little bit inaccurate.
No! You don't say.
But we should hopefully find out more in the coming months when CitizenCon comes and goes.
Yeah. I would expect an announcement at SitCon, to be honest. That's what I think anyway. Probably announcement date, and then early at the earliest, or latest at the latest for 2025 for Squadron 42. But, yeah. Apart from that, is there anything else we want to cover, or...
Well, I mean, I have something that's related to Star Citizen, but
Sure.
You're probably not gonna really like it too much.
I wouldn't say that. What is it?
So this is partially me bragging as well. So yeah, so I am a member of the Saber Ravens owner club. It's basically a organization that you can only get into if you have a Saber Raven,
Right. Yep.
and they released a announcement recently that they are opening up like orders for customizable shirts, and I would like to say that I bought one, and it's going to have my gamer tag on it, and I plan on wearing it. So yeah.
So this is a T-shirt, is it? Did you say you sort of liked that a little bit there when you were saying what it was?
A T-shirt, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a T-shirt that will have your gamer tag on the back of it.
Right. How much did the shirt cost? Do you
Uh,
know?
60 US
Holy!
dollars. So I know.
They saw you coming, bro.
Huh?
They saw you coming.
It's okay, gamers. It's okay. It's a fancy shirt, I promise you.
Hey, Ferrets, I got a bridge to sell you. It's great. It goes nowhere.
Yeah? Is that so? How much do you want for the bridge?
$20 million.
I'm gonna have to talk with my bank about that one.
Mm.
So I'm not too sure.
All right, guys. Obviously, light show today. I'm gonna go have a shower and totally not fall asleep on the couch. And I believe
I'm gonna go and watch some of I'm gonna go and watch some Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I'm glad he said Attack on Titan and not anime because I was going to stare about being hentai. But guys, obviously,
Well, I mean, in a few more days, I won't be able to watch that either, thanks to my freaking state.
yeah, well, some people have been banging on the drum about that for the past few years, saying people need to take notice of this sort of stuff. But
That's right. Chat, you heard it here first. My state's taking away access to my porn.
they're not taking away the access; they're just making you get an ID card for which they can spy you on for.
No, they want a copy of my driver's license, which I'm sure as hell not gonna do.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna
exactly.
give them that shit.
Exactly. So they're not taking away the option. They just want you to supply ID to which they can spy you on. Hey, if it's any consolation, the Chinese credit score over in China, they actually demonished or demote you in the standings, I suppose is the best way to put it, by watching porn. So if you watch too much porn in China, you actually get a lower standing with your Chinese credit score. Think about that when you think about your state bringing in these.
I thought of a wonderful idea.
Uh-huh.
What if I just used a fake driver's license that I got offline?
Don't do that. Jesus Christ. Any fraudulent activity that Ferrets is currently endorsing is no way representative of the channel YouTube, okay? No one on the channel let me rephrase. I'm not on the channel claiming that you people should use a fake government document which gets them 20 years in prison for doing.
I didn't say that I was gonna go through with it. Jesus Christ.
Anyway. Hey, on the bright side, Ferrets, at least you don't have to worry about watching porn in prison. You'll get all the sex you could possibly want.
Wow. Thanks, man.
We'll have to call you butt fuck Ferrets.
Thanks, gamers.
Alright, guys, on that note, it's time for me to go to bed. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy. You want to say bye, Ferrets?
I don't think I want to now.
Anyway. No, seriously, you want to say bye?
Yeah, I could buy you, filthy degenerates.
Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Apart from that, guys, have a great night. Enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you throughout the week, and at least next week for the podcast regarding gaming. Have a good night, everybody.